Why Gabriel Martinelli has not been named in Arsenal squads this season. As talks begin for £60 million transfer, Arsenal boss has called for a rule change. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has already explained why Gabriel Martinelli has not featured in any of his matchday squads this season, as Al Hilal reportedly pursue a deal for the Brazilian. After a surprise omission against Manchester City in the Community Shield, eyebrows were raised once again when the Gunners began the defense of their Premier League crown on Friday night against newly promoted Coventry City. Although Arteta made 2 changes to the side that started at Wembley, with Declan Rice and Bukayosaka replacing Bruno Guimaraes and Noni Madwick, there was to be no recall for Martinelli. The forward was one of several senior players left out of the matchday squad, along with Gabriel Jesus, Fabio Vieira and Rice Nelson. There are no suggestions that Martinelli is injured, rather his omission is down to Premier League rules stipulating that teams are only to name a 20-player squad on matchdays, a ruling that Arteta has requested changes. I've been trying to persuade the Premier League and the clubs to be able to extend the number of players that we can have, especially the outfield players in the squads, because we play more and more games, and the load is unreal. And not giving the chance to those players to be able to be here to participate, because maybe it demands the qualities of one of those players, and we don't have them available, the Spaniard said after the Man City win. It's just a shame, so it's the most difficult part of the job, but there's nothing to do with that. It's just a fact that we can bring 18 outfield players. And we believe that for today's game, these were the options that we needed, especially with the physical condition of certain players. Speculation over Martinelli's future is set to ramp up ahead of transfer deadline day, as The Athletic have reported that Saudi Pro League side Al Hilal are in talks with Arsenal over a transfer. Martinelli is said to be open to the switch after turning down interest from Galatasaray, and is valued at £60 million by the Gunners. The Brazilian has 1 year left on his contract in North London, though Arsenal have the option to extend that by a further 12 months, and Standard Sport have previously reported he is a player the club would be open to selling for the right price this summer. Arsenal and Al Hilal are edging closer to an agreement for Gabriel Martinelli, Football has been told. Internal talks have been ongoing between the clubs, but now there is optimism an agreement can be reached. The figure looks to be in excess of £50 million, and the Gunners would therefore be making a record-breaking amount of money for a player. The current record stands at £35 million from 2017, when Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain joined Liverpool. Martinelli has just 1 year remaining on his current contract at the club, although there is an option to extend by a further year. The Brazilian has featured in pre-season for the Gunners, however was left out of the matchday squads for the FA Community Shield and the Premier League opener against Coventry City. Football London understands, despite claims from Ian Wright that the player was not being spoken to, Mikel Arteta had conversed with the player over the decision not to include him in the team. After an initial inquiry from Galatasaray, Al Hilal's interest has emerged, with their prior interest in Pedro Neto dissuaded by Chelsea's massive asking price. Al Hilal paid West Ham United £55 million plus £5 million in add-ons for Dutch international Crescencio Somerville after the 24-year-old scored 5 goals and 4 assists in a season in which West Ham were relegated. Alternatively, Martinelli, a year older, scored just 1 Premier League goal and got 4 assists as the Gunners won the title. He did, however, score 6 goals in the UEFA Champions League initial phase and earn 2 assists. He ended the season on 18 goal contributions. Only Victor Gyökeres, Bukayosaka and Leandro Trossard managed to earn more combined goals and assists. With the arrival of Christos Tzolis, despite Trossard's exit, Martinelli was not expected to be heavily involved in the club's plans for the season. They might yet sign another forward, aided by the money brought in for Martinelli, or instead use Eberechi in a wider role this season, with Noni Madwick another alternative.